I'll be talking about two positive adjustments to SSDI and SSI that Social Security recently announced in today's video. I've included all the information you need to know right here in the video, so let's get started. First of all, let's talk about what's going on. I sincerely appreciate you enjoying and sharing this video using the icons below. If you're new here, thank you very much for visiting as well. Finally, if you haven't already, welcome and a huge thank you for watching. Would you kindly make sure to subscribe to the channel by clicking the icon down below once more? Thank you so much. Let's talk about SSDI and SSI, the two significant improvements that are actually excellent for the programs moving ahead, and were recently swiftly revealed by Social Security now. Before we get started, I just want to make it clear that everything I discuss in this video relates to benefits for both SSDI and SSI, which are both managed by the Social Security Administration, centered mostly on individuals with limited resources, income, and disabilities. However, the topic I'm discussing in this video has nothing to do with Social Security retirement benefits, survivors' benefits, or anything of the sort. It is simply SSDI and SSI. I want to be clear about this right away so that there is no doubt about it. As I have shown in previous videos, all of these programs, even though they are managed, although SSDI and SSSI are quite similar, they are also very distinct in a huge degree. However, these adjustments that are made by Social Security are very different in many respects. When I talk about retirement, survivors, spousal benefits, SSI, or SSDI, especially, I want to be very clear about the impact they have announced on both benefit categories. Does that make sense? Always be very clear about that. I just wanted to bring it up quickly. All right, you got it. Excellent. Now let's talk about these announcements, which are actually very beneficial to the programs. Now, here's the problem. I don't think it's a stroll in the park and a wonderful little experience when you go through the process of collecting SSDI and SSI benefits. I think it's more like we all agree that it's not enjoyable and that we don't want to repeat it, so I believe we're all saying the same thing. There are a lot of delays and back and forth when filling out forms. Forms, back and forth, possibly legal counsel, years of delays, denials of appeals. The list goes on, and is, to be honest, a huge source of headaches for many people. And it's just not a pleasurable process. I think most of us would agree with that at this point. Of course, that isn't everyone's experience, but regrettably, for many of us, that is the experience. Nevertheless, they're making the procedure a little bit easier, okay? This year, Social Security Disability Insurance, SSDI, and SSI have already undergone a number of incredibly beneficial improvements that have benefited many people. However, a few more have been announced here, and once more, I want to concentrate on them all. To start, they have updated the DO, or Dictionary of Occupational Titles. Let me explain what it means. That being said, the bottom line is that this DOT, which is essentially a dictionary of occupational titles, has thousands upon thousands of distinct vocations. They do this by looking at an application again. I'm just sort of deconstructing this process. It's far more intricate than I've made it appear in this video. Hang with me, and I'll explain. So, they essentially have a 5-step process. Well, there are more than 5, but that's how it works. In any case, they're changing one of these processes. Procedure that entails essentially reviewing your prior relevant work. In other words, they want to review your prior relevant work to determine that you have completed this task in the past and that you are currently qualified to do it. Then they go through this Dictionary of Occupational Titles, and they basically say, well, you could potentially perform this other job within the due, depending on your prior work history. Can't perform this work anymore due to the impairment that has started, but you can now perform these other 4 or 5 tasks that are included in the dictionary. That makes some sense, right? However, the dictionary has been amended. A small amount of work, and they eliminated 114 distinct professions that are either extinct or only found in extremely small numbers throughout the entire nation. A few of them are a canary breeder, a reptile farmer, and a nut sorter. As you can see, many of these jobs are unreal, and if they are, only one person does them. Examples of these jobs include sorter, yep, that one, watch repairer, and pneumatic tube operator. The job, like nobody works these occupations anymore. There were 114 different titles that were taken out of the dictionary, which is a good thing because it means they can't dispute They could have returned and said, well, you can technically work as this type of person with this type of disability because you can do this, based on the 114 various vocations that were listed. Now they are unable to return and state that on these 114. Don't get me wrong, there are still tens of thousands of jobs there, and I'm sure that more work needs to be done to get another. So, one reason they were rejecting applicants and disability claims was because they were just coming in. I'm sure the purge didn't clean it up with 114, but at least it's a start. Returning and saying, you're right, you have a disability that prevents you from working at your previous position, but you may consider working as a nut sorter or a watch repairer instead. Be a farmer of reptiles or a breeder of canaries, right? No, that's not happening. I apologize. I'm fine. I don't need to do any of those things. They've eliminated the people who are good, so that's kind of a very brief summary of one of the modifications that they recently made and put into effect. This one is currently in place as of June 22nd, so that's fantastic. Thank you very much. Excellent one, everyone. All right, so this is the second modification that they implemented, and once more, it relates to SSDI and SSI, which is what I'm discussing in this video. Fairly nice things, but keep in mind that this is also simplifying the application procedure for beneficiaries to receive benefits. However, there is another factor that they consider, so they go back 15 years. Or they did review your employment history going back 15 years, okay? They essentially just wanted to know what you did for a living during that time, and they utilized it against in order to receive benefits. The beneficiary or claimant says, hey, you could. You did this, X number of years ago, and now, you could do this again, right? So instead of looking back 15 years, the new look-back time span is 5 years again, which is a big improvement. However, how many of us can recall our activities from 15 years ago? I have no idea. Don't even know what I did yesterday. I suppose I can ponder a little bit now that I consider it. What did I do a week ago? I have no idea. You see my point, which is that most people don't know what they did 15 years ago, so they're not taking the time to go back and reflect on those 15 years. Years of employment history into account when it comes to SSDI and SSDI, SSDI and SSIE applications and such, but instead they will only be examining the previous 5 years, all right? New look-back time frame. So, another thing about this is that, as of June 22 of this year, which was not too long ago, this also went into effect. So, it's excellent that this has already happened. As well, why would they make these modifications? What are they doing in this area? And what is the goal to essentially make obtaining SSDI and SSI a little bit simpler, making the procedure a little bit less burdensome and slightly more accessible for those who require the benefits, such as those who do so immediately since, having clearly suffered a condition, they are no longer able to work as much, or in the capacity that these programs exist, because people used to need money, and they needed it quickly. But because of all these obstacles and look-back periods, it has been very difficult to enter the market. These many job designations, occupational titles, and the like are making things a little bit easier. Instead of saying, you're denied CU, you could do this right, it's tough. Not that it will be a stroll in the park, but the adjustments that have been made this year so far have made it simpler to apply for SSI and SSDI, and have made the procedure a little less difficult for the claimant and applicant. Does that make sense? I hope that clarifies things for you once more. I've done live broadcasts and created specialized movies on the subject, but I agree that it's difficult to keep everything clear. But in any case, I hope you don't mind if I keep getting inquiries about it, and there's a lot of uncertainty. This clarifies things for you. If not, kindly let me know in the comments area below, and I will try my best to go on to another movie and provide a live stream if necessary. Please let me know what you think in the space below. If not, make sure to like, share, and subscribe to the video, and leave a remark, question, or other feedback. Otherwise, check out the videos that are currently shown at your screen, the thousands of videos in the channel's video archive, and the ones that have been personally chosen for you are all listed below in the comment section's description. Screen, where you can choose from a few videos. Thank you so much for viewing. I truly appreciate it. Have a great day, take care of yourself, and I'll talk to you later.